learned from this week's episode of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works is that Gilgamesh is basically an ancient Mesopotamian Scrooge McDuck. He has an endless supply of gold and weapons that I'm sure he swims through on a daily basis. This week's episode was awesome. It was the end of one major battle and the beginning of another. Lancer versus Archer. That is going to be really intense. The ultimate rematch. This is one that I've been waiting to see for a long time. But this week's episode was very simple, very easy to follow. Basically, it just opened up with Gilgamesh. He was just finishing the battle. He had ripped the heart from Ilya's body, which was really messed up. And then Shinji just sort of waltzes in, trying to take charge of the battle and even claiming that he could kill Shiro at any moment. But luckily, Gilgamesh shuts him right the hell up. It's right after this that we get this really interesting philosophical scene between Rin and between Shiro, where they're discussing why they should be putting their lives on the line, if they should be thinking about themselves or others. And Shiro himself believes that what he's doing is the right thing. It's the best way to live for other people. But Rin, of course, she's trying to think about number one. It's basically just a funny, lovey-dovey scenes, and there's a lot of them in this week's episode where it's pretty obvious they have feelings for each other. They just really don't know how to express it. The scene that follows is when things get really interesting. That's when we learn a little bit more about Gilgamesh's powers, where we learn that all of the weapons that he summons are basically noble phantasms unto themselves. That's why he's so freaking powerful. He always has the exact weapon for every battle situation. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, like a ninja of hilariousness, Lancer just appears out of nowhere, and that's when this uneasy alliance begins. Rin and Shiro are going to team up with Lancer so that they can defeat Castor and Archer. Now, the scene here is basically just played for laughs because, again, it's just poking fun at the fact that Rin and Shiro just don't know how to communicate their love to each other. It's funny, especially when the only way that Shiro will actually agree to team up with Lancer is if he tells him, don't get chummy with Rin. And then after that, he won't even look or even speak to Rin. It's absolutely hilarious. And I do need to mention here that I love the art style and the coloring and the shading of this show. It looks so freaking nice. Every single backdrop and background scene in this week's episode looked good. And I know that might seem like a minor thing to some people, but as someone who watches a lot of anime, I really appreciate the attention to detail in this show and just the fact that everything looks really nice. At the end of the episode, that's when things get interesting, because they're getting ready to go up against Castor, and there he is, Lancer versus Archer. The lance is out, the swords are ready, and they start to fight. It is going to be awesome next week. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works? Lancer versus Archer. Place your bets. Who do you think is going to win? I'm kind of leaning more towards the Archer side, mostly for plot armor, but then again, Lancer is really freaking powerful. He's proved it multiple times in the series, and I still feel like his alliance with Shiro and Rin just seems a little odd. It just sort of came out of nowhere. I feel like there's something going on here, like an ulterior motive, and I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. All I know is I'm just freaking out because I know this battle is going to be incredible. I know you guys know how good the animation of the series is going to be, so you can expect the rematch between Lancer and Archer to probably be really flashy and amazing. The opening of this week's episode was also good, though. The whole thing with Gilgamesh ripping the heart out, that was really just pouring salt onto the wound and really messed up. And you can even see that Shinji was freaked out by that as well. And then all the stuff with Rin and Shiro. Like I said, it doesn't really do much for me. That's not really my favorite style of storytelling, but at least everything looked really good. The writing was still nice. There were a little bit of funny moments, so it was still nice. And just the build up to their big battle is awesome, especially with Archer. God, I cannot wait to see that. That is going to be so awesome. But really, that's all I have to say about this week's episode. But I will say it was another high-quality episode of the series. This series has some of the best production value I have ever seen. I would really love to see more from this studio. So a little bit of action, a little bit of intrigue, getting to learn a little bit more about Gilgamesh's powers. Shiro and Rin's relationship is still funny, big Lancer team up, and a big battle's getting ready to happen. This was still a pretty solid episode of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 4 out of 5. Check it out, Fate Stay fans. It was pretty awesome. So, I liked this episode a lot. I thought it was really good. I can't wait to see the next battle. But what about you guys? Are you excited for next week's episode? Who do you think is going to win? Lancer or Archer? And what do you want to see from the rest of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It's really easy to do. You just have to click the like button and it helps us out a lot. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews, of which we are reviewing many different shows right now. Just to name a few, we are reviewing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Assassination Classroom, Seraph of the End, Blood Blockade Battlefront, One Piece, Arslan Senki, Naruto Shippuden, and a few others. So make sure to check out the channel and see all of the brand new shows that we are looking at, and make sure to follow us on social media. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby.